don't just get listed on SigningOrder.com and SnapDocs. Do this instead. So most notaries that I talk to are listed on SigningOrder and SnapDocs and or SnapDocs, and that's about it. So instead of doing just that, you should be doing this. So you should get listed on ZigSig. So for example, ZigSig, the volume, it's a platform, just like SigningOrder, just like SnapDocs, it's a platform. The difference is now the volume of orders that come through ZigSig is significantly less than the order volume that you would get from SnapDocs. But the average pay on there is a lot higher. Sites like signing services like ProLink are on there, Loan Depot, couple others that are on ZigSig. So, and I actually think ProLink might be one of the owners of that platform, but nevertheless, it's a good platform to be listed on. More often than not, I talk to notaries and they're not on that platform at all. You're missing some money if you're not. Another one that is out there that, again, the frequency of orders that come out is definitely less than the previous two, but nevertheless, there's still orders that come through, and that is Notary Dash. So Notary-.com is another platform that you can put your credentials on and load. And of course, I've done the Closewise too, which is one of the newest ones to come out. So these are ones that you can get listed on as a notary and get more signings. Okay, so I just talked to so many that aren't on there. They aren't on BankServe, or they don't have the BankServe app. Onboarding with BankServe is a little difficult. It's tedious to do, but it's worth it. So do those instead. Now, next, I'm gonna give you a concept that I call BYOSS, bring your own signing service. So I'm going to tell you, most notaries, it seems like their orders, the order volume they get, most of them come from those first two platforms, SigningOrder.com, which is Notary Resume, or they come from SnapDocs. Now, I'm on there. I'm on both of them. You can actually look me up. You can see that I'm on both those platforms as well. But that is not where most of our orders come from. Most of our orders come from our 800 number, okay? So and I've mentioned this before in other videos, actually one of the last videos I did, that we have about a handful of digital assets that are what allow this to happen. That is why this takes place. And so we're actually beta testing a concept. I have a handful of notaries that are doing this right now, and I'll tell you about what we're doing. But so bring your own signing service. So, well, you can get listed in directories. Now, directories have they have a pro and a con, and I'm going to tell you about that. And this goes for all directories. So we have the directory site Noble Legal Pros, and that directory is one of those assets that I'm talking about. The drawback of a directory is that you're showing up, or you're populating in a location-based search, but it's a single location. And if you're like me and most mobile notaries I know, you probably cover a handful of areas. Maybe you even cover a couple counties. So you have the ability, you've got cart will travel, right? So you have the ability to go somewhere further away, but your directory is really only going to serve you up in the location that you said you are in. And now they all work like that. The advantage of Noble Legal Pros is that you can show up for all the different services. So where most notary directories are just that, it's just your notary only. Where ours allows for you to if you do apostilles, you're a wedding officiant, fingerprinting, whatever, you have those multi-services, allows you to populate for those in that location. So it gives you a lot more strength in that your, we'll say, cafe of services shows up. So where a lot of them aren't quite as diverse in the selections of services you can list. So that is one advantage of that. But my directory site, as well as every other directory site, is pretty limited in that it's just your location. And so you want to do multiple locations. So of course, this is where we own, like I said, other assets like FloridaNotaryServices.org and Noble Notary Signing Service.agency, mouthful. But those serve up the mobile notary service in many more locations. In fact, almost an unlimited amount of locations. So what we are doing right now is we are allowing notaries to use landing pages on our main sites, our main marketing sites, for themselves. Now, they are, we'll say, they're renting these landing pages. So why that works good is that you don't have to go out and build a website and find a website. You already have one that already exists, that already ranks. You're just taking locations that you serve, and you can put your info in there instead of my info. Instead of my 800 number, you can put your info in there. So right now we have a handful of notaries that are doing this, and we're charging, at the moment, we're charging $10 per year per landing page is basically how that works. So, and that also comes with the directory spot, and there's a reason for that too. I'll tell you about that in just a second. But so we have a minimum of 5, so they have to have at least 5 cities that they want to serve. And so $50 for the whole year. And we basically go in and we take your contact info and we put them in those landing pages. So instead of them calling my 800 number, they're just calling your number. You're taking the full fee instead of me taking the order, searching down a notary in that area, and then of course splitting it. So that is something we are testing with some notaries that is so far working pretty good. We're gonna basically open that up to anybody. To get that, you have to book a discovery call with us. So we have to make sure that you're a good fit, because you're in essence, you're kind of borrowing our brand name. So we want to talk with you about that before we do that. And of course, we're going to set it up. We're going to put your info in there. We're going to find out what cities what cities you're covering, and we're going to pre-screen our sites or our landing pages rankings in your area to make sure that it's a worthwhile investment for you or for those notaries that are already doing this. So pretty good deal. Now they get a directory spot too, and the reason is that in their directory spot or your directory spot, we want to put the links to those landing pages in your directory listing too, because that allows those rankings to get bolstered because of backlinking. Okay, it's a backlinking strategy. So that is what else we're doing with that. So again, for that, you have to book a discovery call with us, and we have to talk about that and talk about your service areas, of course, and then set up the billing for that, which is an annual thing. But and of course, after 1 year, if you don't like that, you don't want to do that, then you don't have to. So if you don't have a website, it's a great way to just borrow the authority of our site and actually borrow our brand name as well. So that's something we're rolling out. Now, lastly, I mentioned ZigSig and I mentioned Notary Dash. Now, lastly, there's actually another platform that you can get on where, again, the fees are higher, but the order volume is less. And almost no notaries I talk to are ever on it, and that is called Qualia. So Qualia, who owns closing software, and they own Resware, you as a notary can list yourself in there, and title companies can directly reach out to you and hire you directly, and actually even pay you through the Qualia suite. So another one to check out. So hope you found this stuff useful. So we'll see you next time. Mark from Noble Notary Signing Services out.